Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our community. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about lifestyle and choices that we make and things that I've done in my personal life that I think helped me overcome a lot of challenges. And, when you get started in business as an entrepreneur, whether you're a first time entrepreneur or whether you are in a business thinking about changing or in a job thinking about changing careers, the choices you make are really going to be pivotal on whether or not you're going to be able to have the stamina to succeed in what you're doing. And I don't want this to come off the wrong way here, but today I just want to simply talk about choices we make in our personal lives that affect our desires in our business and careers. And I have always been, gosh, for almost as long as I can remember, probably since I was 16 years old, I have been a early morning guy. I have gotten up to go to the gym every morning. I used to do it in high school before school. That carried through into college and obviously into life. And today I still get up at 4 in the morning every day just because I like to. I like that quiet time in the morning before I get immersed into emails and returning calls. And I also like to start my day with that workout. And as I think about the stamina needed to run and start a business, or the stamina needed to succeed in my career, if you're in a job or you're looking to change careers, having the right sort of disciplines in your personal life are crucial for you to be able to be successful. So today I just want to simply talk about a few of those things and a few of those best practices, because I don't think, if you've never started your own business, or if you've never given up a stable job to go do something, I don't think you fully appreciate the physical and mental taxing it can cause on your body. And so for me, I made choices throughout my life to, starting out with that workout, always starting my day with a workout. And I almost never miss. Like, I can probably count on one hand how many days I don't work out a year. And I know that many will tell you that you don't want to work out every day. And sometimes a workout for me could just be a brisk walk. It could be, so a light ab workout, something like that. But I genuinely try to get up, out into the gym every single day. 4 in the morning, if I go out late, which for me is like past 10, maybe I'll sleep until 5 or 5:30. But most of the time, especially midweek, I'm always up at 4 every day. And what that does is it just kind of sets my tone for the day. It sets my mood. It sets my brain. It sets my body that we're going, right? We got up and we're ready to start rolling here. The other thing that I do is I eat healthy, right? And I know that this is so cliche, to take care of yourself, exercise, eat right. But as again, I don't think people talk about it in the form of business. Like, when you think of startup life, oftentimes you think of sleepless nights. You think of, eating at your desk, maybe you're having fast food, you're go, go, go all day long, no time to work out. And I think you'll find that you'll face burnout sooner if you don't spend some amount of time on yourself. And so, again, having that discipline to set that, rigor around your schedule is crucial, and that, for me, that's getting up at the same time every single day, starting my day with a workout. Second part, eating healthy. I very rarely go out to eat for lunch during the week. Most of the time I will bring my own lunch if I'm going to an office, or I will make my own lunch if I'm working from home. And I'm pretty conscious about what I eat. And I'm kind of like a dog, and that sounds terrible, but how dogs eat the same meal every day? Like, I've got maybe 3 or 4 lunches that I, rotate between, but they're more or less the same things every day. There's a good amount of protein, there's some fruits and veggies, there's very minimal carbs, and that's just how I operate. And I try to have the same portion control. And again, I know that this is about projecting grandeur, but I don't think you can project your grandeur if you don't feel grand inside, if you don't feel your best. And so I just want to spend a little bit on this episode just talking about those things. So, getting up early, working out every day. I love when people tell me, by the way, that they can't get up early. That is not a fact. You may not be used to getting up early. You may struggle to get up early, but if you get in the habit and the routine of doing it, it becomes very easy. I remember a good friend of mine in college. Right out of college, we were working together, and I said, "Hey, why don't you get up with me every day at 4 and go to the gym?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that." I said, "Do it for 3 weeks, and if you give me 3 weeks, I'll change your life." And he begrudgingly agreed, and he got up every day at 4 in the morning. And this was like 25 years ago. And to this day, he still gets up every morning and goes and works out. And his life is better just simply because he has that discipline, he has that routine, and he's taking care of himself, right? Because it's so easy to get distracted later in the day. If you don't work out in the morning and you get to the end of the day, you're tired, you've got family obligations, you've got work obligations, it becomes very hard. So I always try to start my day with a workout. Again, going back to eating healthy and then giving yourself time to have, a outlet, whether it be creative, whether it be physical, something that you enjoy and that you look forward to is an important part of it. For me, it's playing guitar. I always try to give myself, 10 or 15 minutes a day where I can just strum along on the guitar and, kind of tinker around and just kind of have that creative outlet that I can just unleash something. And, I may not be very good at it, but it's enjoyable to me and it gives me that refresh. And I look forward to it at the end of the day. So finding that thing that you can look forward to is an important part. And then always, always, always leave time for your family and for your friends. More importantly, your family. Depending on if you're single and you have siblings or parents, or if you're married or if you have kids, whatever it is, giving yourself time to spend with your family, that you're not on your phone, you're not distracted. Like, these are really crucial things for you to be able to be refreshed, recharged, and focused, so the time you spend on your business or on your career change, can be used fully, and you can immerse yourself in it and not be distracted and not feeling like you're having these things that you wanted or should have done that you didn't do. So again, just quick recap here for me. And again, everybody's different, but I believe that we're all very similar as well. So physical fitness, preferably in the morning before you get your day going. That's number one. For me, it's 4 a.m. 2, eating healthy. Don't take time eating out. Bring your lunch. Control what you put in your body. Control the portions that you're putting in your body by bringing that in. It's also going to enable you to spend more time working on the business and in your career, less time trying to figure out where you're going to eat lunch. Number 3 is making sure you have that outlet, whether it be creative or physical, something that you look forward to. Maybe you're on a softball team. Maybe you like playing guitar like me. Maybe you're a golfer. Whatever it is, having that time that you can, have, that you look forward to, that gives you that creative or physical outlet that you crave. And then last but certainly not least, friends and family, allocating time so that when you're with them, you're spending time fully with them and not on your phone or distracted by calls or emails that are coming in. And again, these are my things that I have focused on my entire life for 30 plus years now, so that I can fulfill everything that I want to accomplish by just focusing on these 4 things that make everything else easier. Anyway, hope you find this helpful today. Please remember to like and comment. Most importantly, share. Getting the word out there. Entrepreneurs and change makers are the people that make this world better. And I want to give whatever I have to help make them better. So please remember to share it with somebody you know. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a good day.